Okay, welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about Basil and her story of how we got her, and Echo wants to be involved as well, so I hope you guys stick around and let's get into the video. Also, I have bangs now, so yeah, still the same person, just for bangs. Okay, so we are on the ground today because obviously Basil wants to be involved in this video, and it is her video after all. So Basil unexpectedly joined our pack on like March 15th, 17th. She is the new addition to the family, and she is a 9-month-old now, American Pit Bull Terrier, female intact for now. Soon will be spayed potentially. We found her on vacation, so it was not planned at all. I was not looking to get another dog. As many of you know, we live in a very small apartment. It is about maybe 500 square feet total inside, and we have around 200 square feet of patio space outside, which is really just a saving grace. So me and David went on a trip to Houston, Texas to go to the rodeo. It was our first time going to the rodeo, and it was our second time in Texas. And one of our friends lives there and is actually a vet tech there, and she's just a saving grace. Honestly, we could not have gotten Basil without her, so she's the best. Shout out to Valeria. Thank you. And basically she'll come in a little bit later on the story, but me and David were just going around town and waiting around for the rodeo. We see this puppy that's just across the street looking at us like, and we're like, oh my god, what is that? Why is there a little baby here? We like drive past a little bit because we were like, I don't know, we're like in a neighborhood, maybe it's like somebody's dog. Like, we don't want to kidnap a dog either, you know? So we're driving around and we see this family come out to the front porch, like to the front lawn, and the puppy runs right up to them. And so we think, oh, well, this must be their dog. Maybe it just got out or something. No, we were wrong. Once we were turning the corner, we see that the family was like shooing her away, and it was clearly not their dog. So we immediately turned the car around and we tried to go back to where she was. We didn't want her to be walking around any longer. So we just open the car door, she jumps right in and just instantly just falls asleep in my arms. And we then pick her up and get out of the car and we start walking around the neighborhood a little bit. Just to see if anybody recognized her or if anybody knew of anyone that had just gotten a puppy that maybe got out or something like that. So it turns out no one recognized her, and there was one family that came out that said that she had actually been around the neighborhood for like the past week and a half, and that it wasn't anyone's dog around here. That's when it was a little alarming, and we were like, well, she's just a baby. She was maybe 5 months old when we saw her, so definitely not a condition to be in the Texas heat out in the streets for a baby dog. So we took her in. I called my friend who was a vet tech in Houston and asked her what to do. I'm like, what do we do? I don't know what the nearest vet is here. I don't know like if there's a shelter. Is it a good shelter? Like, what do we do? She said, take her to a vet, see if she's microchipped. So I said, okay, why don't we just take her home for now, get her some water and stuff like that, and then we'll figure out the vet situation. So I did drop a pin on the location where I found her just in case that we needed to go back there, and obviously we weren't familiar with the area, so we just wanted to make sure we had the directions. So if you ever find a dog, drop a pin, because you never know, maybe they are microchipped and they just happen to be out and maybe their family is at home. So once we got home to my friend's house, she was able to hold her for us for a little bit while we figured out what the heck to do. She wasn't wearing any collars, and she didn't look like she had gone to the vet or had any space surgeries or anything like that yet. She did have all of her adult teeth, which is how we knew that she was around like 4 or 5 months. And she wasn't in any of the Facebook pages or ring information or anything like that on the Houston area or the area where we found her, because we were like, well, what if somebody just posted it online and they're looking for their dog? So she wasn't in any of those pages. And so since my friend is a vet tech and she gets all of the vet services for free, we decided to have her keep Basil while she took her to the vet and all this stuff, and if there was a microchip or anything, then to let us know and we can contact the family and have them pick her up. So once we did that and my friend took her to the vet, we realized she wasn't microchipped and that no one was really looking for her. And that's when we said, oh my god, are we gonna keep another dog? By this time, me and David are already back in Florida, so we're like, what are we gonna do? Do we tell our friend to drop her off at the shelter? Do we tell our friend, like, what do we do? Like, she's already being nice enough to keep her for a week when she already has 3 dogs of her own. So it was definitely like nicest thing ever to do. She actually rescues dogs as well in the area, so she's used to having other dogs at her house, so she's like, don't worry, I'll hold her for a little bit till you guys decide what you want to do. So we started considering, what if we do go pick her up back in Texas and bring her back home to Florida? By then, my friend's boyfriend actually had a friend that wanted to adopt Basil, and so we decided, okay, well, if he can take her, he's already in Houston, he doesn't have any other dogs, that might be a better situation for her because she'll get all the attention and she's gonna be an only dog, and probably that person has a lot more time to dedicate to another dog than we would, and it'll just work out better for us if we're moving and all of that. A few weeks go by, and turns out this person couldn't adopt her and it just wasn't gonna work out for them. There was a few other people that we considered that maybe could adopt her, and it just didn't make any sense for them either. So I wasn't gonna let my friend basically take on this new dog on her own without even having found her. Like, this is not her problem. So not that Basil's a problem, but you guys know what I mean. So I said, okay, well, let's figure out how much it would be to fly from Florida to Texas and drive back with Basil. It was around $3,000 to rent a car in Texas and drop it off in Florida. So it was really, really, really expensive, and we were like, oh, heck no. Like, I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna have to figure out something else. So shout out to Citizen Shipper. I found this website as like a last resort. I was like, if this doesn't work out, then I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna have to contact like the nearest no-kill shelter or do something else because this is not gonna work out. But basically, when you go on Citizen Shipper, you can put out a job that you want someone to do for you, and so you could put like, I need my dog transported from Texas to Florida these dates and needs to be this much. And companies as well as regular people can bid on there for the job. And so we were able to find this small business, which I will post something here about it. They're amazing. This guy travels twice a month cross country, delivering dogs basically and transporting dogs. So he's been doing this for a long time. He had a live GPS tracker, and he stops every 4 hours to like let them out and everything like that. And they were gonna be crated inside the van. These dogs are playing. She was able to get here within like 3 days. He was already at our door from Texas. So it was amazing. He was delivering 6 dogs at that point, and she was the last stop. And it was just a really good experience. He sends you updates, pictures, video, all that stuff. So I definitely recommend him if you are looking to transport a pet. So we were able to get her to Florida, which was amazing. And now we worked on the introduction of the dogs for a while. So the introduction of the dogs happened, I would say, a total of like a month. So we did keep them separated. We did introduce them outside in a neutral area like you're supposed to. They were on leash. They did not meet on leash head to head. They went on multiple walks together for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. We went on every walk together with her, with enough space in between, and then gradually came closer and closer together as they got to know each other more. We did not allow them to play or do pretty much engage in any kind of activity together until they were pretty comfortable with her, just because we didn't want her to have a bad experience with our dogs, and we didn't want our dogs to have a bad experience with her, especially not knowing her yet. And so if you are looking to introduce dogs, definitely take your time. Like, it is better to take your time and be extra careful than to not be careful enough and have a bad experience, then kind of dictate the rest of your dog's experience with this new dog in their house. So luckily, this is not our first rodeo, even though it was our first rodeo in Houston. But this is not our first rodeo introducing dogs to each other, as we had to introduce Buddy to Kovu, and then we also had to introduce Echo to Buddy and Kovu when we got her. So this is the third time that we were introducing a new dog to the pack, and we do have a little bit of practice, but it is a very sensitive thing. And even though you might think your dogs are like, oh yeah, they get along, it's fine, they're playing, like they instantly got along, you never know what's gonna happen later once like they get a little bit more comfortable, they start testing more boundaries. So just taking your time with it is really like the key thing here, and just advocating for your own dogs that you already have to make sure that they feel comfortable and not kind of replaced with this new dog. So making sure you treat everybody equally, making sure that your dogs are comfortable, that they have a safe space to go to if they don't want to be involved with the new dog, and that the new dog has a safe space to go to if they don't want to be involved with the current dogs. So we definitely used a crate, and I can talk more about this if you guys want. I'm kind of going into detail, but if you guys want a whole video on how to introduce dogs to each other, I can definitely do that for you. Yeah, so that's basically how we got Basil back to Florida, and she's been living with us since March. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed listening to Basil's story. If you have found or rescued a dog off the street, definitely leave comments down below of what kind of dog it was and kind of a little blurb of the story, because we would like to know. So yeah, dogs kind of find you sometimes, and even if you aren't looking for them, then they still find you anyway, okay? They just do. At least they find me. They find me, and I'm hoping this will be the last dog that we have right now in this pack, even if we move to a bigger house, because it is a lot. I'm not gonna lie, having 4 dogs is not for everyone, so please don't think that I'm here promoting having a bunch of dogs, because it's definitely not for everyone, and you do need to make sure that you advocate for all of your dog's needs and not just a new dog and not just when you have time. So definitely, just if you guys want another video on having a multi-dog household, introducing dogs, or even living with dogs in a small space, I can definitely do a video on that, and I can explain more about that. But yeah, this was kind of a little vloggy kind of video. It wasn't really a lot of educational stuff like I usually do, but if you like this content, then definitely consider subscribing to the channel and liking this video, and Basil will send you lots and lots of love. So she'll be very happy if you click the like button. Don't worry, I won't tell her if you haven't clicked it yet, but she'll definitely know if you haven't clicked it by now. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.